I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine you have an enemy. Maybe you do, but I want you to imagine you have an enemy. Let's say he lives right across the street from you. He's your neighbor across the street from your house. He not only despises you, he has voiced several times. He says it on a loudspeaker out in front of your home. He wants to take you down a notch. He wants to make sure he defeats you. Any chance he throws stumbling blocks in front of you. He really is quite open about the fact you're in a competition with him and he intends to win. That's crazy, right? Now, you got that picture in your head? Now, I want you to imagine purposely going to a movie that guy made. I want you to imagine raising your child who you love for 18 years and then sending him off to a university run by that guy. I want you to imagine sitting down at night after a long day of work, eat some dinner, sit down, turn on the news, and the news station is funded by that guy. Would that make sense to you? Or would you sound like the dumbest person in the history of mankind? That's what this country does with China. They make our movies, they run our universities, they bring us the news, they own our politicians, they buy up our land. We have allowed our arch nemesis to simply come in and take over. And it's a big deal. I mean, Dr. Fauci is a major figure in this country, sadly. He's a major figure in this country. Huge. He has been the face of America's response on COVID-19. Again, that's sad, but he has been. Here he is. There's a World Economic Forum, which is creepy enough. The narrative last year was the Great Reset. The narrative this year is actually called the Great Narrative. Here's Fauci and the communist dictator of China saying the same stuff.
We have disinformation that is entirely destructive to a comprehensive public health endeavor.
Strong confidence and cooperation represent the only right way to defeat the pandemic. Holding each other back or shifting blame would only cause needless delay in response and distract us from the overall objective. History has proved time and again, the confrontation does not solve problems. It only invites catastrophic consequences.
Wow. It is amazing how those similarities come across, huh? And let's talk about this. China, as we speak, has concentration camps. Big ones. You've heard of the Muslim Uyghurs of China. The stories that come out about how those people are being treated, they're being rounded up and imprisoned. They're being used for organ harvesting. What's happening to the women is not something I'll describe for you now because it's a family show, but it's really, really, really bad. It's really, really, really bad. And yet, America's major players, America's leaders, our media executives, our politicians, our billionaires, they can't seem to utter a negative word about the place. Here's the owner of the Golden State Warriors.
Nobody cares about. Nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. Okay, you bring it up because you really care, and I think that's nice that you care. The rest of us don't care. I'm just telling you a very hard.
Wait, you're saying you personally don't care?
I'm telling you a very hard, ugly truth. Okay, of all the things that I care about, yes, it is below my line. Okay, of all the things that I care about, it is below my line.
They run our sports teams. What nation can survive like this? What nation can survive with the enemy across the street dictating so many things in its life? We can't survive this way. I don't know how we dig our way out. I don't know how we get down to the roots of this, but we had better find a way. You realize we're about to send our athletes over there and a bunch of media people for Beijing? We're about to send our people into this communist country, and they just sent a virus to the world. Honestly, I know this doesn't apply to you personally. I realize that. We deserve what's coming. We do. Apparently, we're too weak and greedy and pathetic to stand up to these people, and we're going to pay for it. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.